friends, this is the math lesson for second grade. This is Unit 6, Lesson 2. We will be working on place value today on pages 265 and 266. So please make sure you have that and a pencil, and we'll go ahead and get started. So yesterday we talked about boxes, sticks, and circles. We reviewed that the boxes represent 100, the sticks represent 10, and the circles represent ones. So in this first section, it is asking you to write the number that is shown by the drawing. Now, you have to be careful here because if you look at number 1, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hundreds. So you're not going to write 600 right there. You're just going to write the number of boxes that you see. So we have 6 boxes, which we also call 600. Now, we're going to count our tens. I see a group of 5 right here, and then I have 6, and I have 7. And I don't see any ones. Now, sometimes, depending on what we're doing, we leave the 0 out, but this only so far says 67. We must include that 0 right there. So if I have 6 hundreds, 7 tens, and 0 ones, and I squish these numbers together, I get a total of 670. If you are ready to try number 2 and 3 on your own, please go ahead. Pause the video. If you want to keep working with me, let's keep going. So I see on number 2, I count 1, 2, 3 hundreds. I count 1, 2, 3 tens. And I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. And if I squish those numbers together, I get 335. All right, number 3. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. I don't see any 10 sticks, so again, I have to write in that 0. And then I have a group of 5 ones, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 409. All right, now we're going to do the opposite of what we just did. Instead of counting the boxes, sticks, and circles, we are going to draw those for these numbers. So before we get started, I want you to make sure that you know that those are the hundreds, in the middle are the tens, and there's the ones. So your first number is the number of boxes, your second number is the number of tens, and your third number is the number of ones. So I have 7 hundreds to draw. And again, if you draw them in groups of 5, it looks nicer, neater, and it's easier to read. I have 4 tens, and I have no ones. So your number is going to have just 7 boxes and 4 tens. If you are ready to try 5, 6, and 7 on your own, please go ahead and pause the video. If you want to stay with me, let's keep going. So here I have 8 hundreds. I have 7 tens. And remember, we do not do a slash through them for our 5th one. They're only straight for our 10 sticks. Those are called tallies otherwise. And then I have 6 ones. And number 6, we have 200. We have 9 tens, excuse me, and 4 ones. All right, if you are still working with me, I want you to try number 7 on your own. Pause the video. Okay, friends, so you should have drawn 5 hundreds, no tens, and just 2 ones. Good work, my friends. We are halfway through our lesson. Let's turn the page over. So now it wants us to write the expanded form. So when we write the expanded form, we look at the number in its standard form, and then we have to ask ourselves, what is the value of each of those numbers? So I know that if I have a 3 in my hundreds town, it's not just a 3. It stands for 300 because 3 100s is 100, 200, 300. If I have an 80 or an 8 in my tens, that stands for 80 because 8 tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 is the value. And the ones are always just the ones. So if you would like to try 9, 10, and 11 on your own, please feel free. If you want to stay with me, let's keep going. So we have 700, and I always like to listen for what I'm saying. So I hear 700. So a 7 in hundreds town equals 700. 730. You hear that 30 for 3 tens. And then we know that it's always just an 8 for the ones. At any time, if you want to pause the video and try these on your own, you are more than welcome to. Now we have 520, and then we have a 6. And if you're still working with me, I want you to pause the video and try number 11 on your own. All right, so we have 267. So we have 267 for that one. All right, moving on through. Numbers 12 through 15, it says write the number. So it's switching it up. It gives us the expanded form, and now it wants us to squish those numbers together, get rid of those extra zeros, and write the real number. So when you do expanded form to standard form, you are looking at the first number or digit in each number. So 4, 5, 9. 4, 5, 9. If you would like to try these 3 on your own, please go ahead. So for number 13, we have an 8, a 1, and a 3. So that tells me it's 813. 813. For number 14, we start with a 1 this time, a 7, and then we have a 5. So 175. And our last one is 641. So 6, 4, and 1. All right. We have just about 11 problems, 12 problems left to do. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, these problems are the most challenging in this lesson. So take a big deep breath and let's get started. What it's asking us to do, it's giving us the expanded form, and it's asking us to fill in the blanks. Now, most of them, you are going to write the standard form. So it's giving you the expanded form, and you're going to write the standard form just like we did up here. However, 24, 25, 26, and 27 are a little bit different. They are saying, here's the standard form. Here's part of the expanded form. Part of the expanded form, I'm missing something in the expanded form, okay? So I'm going to do one example of each of these. That way, if you want to try these on your own, you can. So let's go back to number 16. So it's saying, I have the expanded form, but it's all out of order. So what you're going to do is you first need to find your biggest number. So our biggest number is 900. So I'm going to start by writing a 9. Then I'm going to find my next biggest number, which would be my tens, which is a 4. And then I'm going to include my last number, which is just a 5. Now remember, when you have expanded form and you're writing it to standard form, all those zeros go away and they kind of get squished together. But they're trying to trick you here, okay? So be careful, especially on ones like number 17 or number 20 that only have 2 numbers. Each of these numbers is going to have 3 digits, so be careful. Now let's quickly jump down to number 24. So on questions like these, what I like to do is I like to say, okay, here's my standard form. What do I have so I can figure out what am I missing? So I see a 2, so I'm going to cross off my 2. I see a 4 for 400. I'm going to cross off my 4. So I know that I'm missing that 6. Well, I know I'm not just going to write a 6 because 2 plus 400 plus 6, that equals 408, right? And that is not what I need. I have a 6 and it's in my tens town. So what does that stand for? What is that value? If I have 6 tens, my value is 60. So be careful on 24, 25, 26, and 27. If you would like to pause the video to try some of these on your own, please do. I highly encourage it. If you're not quite there yet, don't stress. Stay with me. All right, back up to number 17. So I'm going to look at those first numbers. I'm going to find my biggest number, which is 200, so I'm going to start there. I only see a 7. I don't see any 10. So if I don't have some of a number, that tells me that I need to include a 0. And then my last number is 7 for 207. Number 18, I'm going to look at each of my first numbers, digits. I'm going to start with my biggest. So I have 4 from 400, then my tens, which is 80, and my 6 for my 1. So 486. Number 19, I have 800 plus 40. I'm going to look at each of my first numbers. I'm going to start with my biggest, which is 8. I have my tens right here for a 4. Now I don't see any numbers. Am I done? No. I have to include that I have 0, 1. So you have to include that 0 or else it's not going to say 840. Number 20, we have 70 plus 300. So I know that I have, my biggest is 300, so I'm going to start with my 3. I know that I have 7 tens, so that goes into my tens town. And again, I don't have any 1s, so I'm going to put a 0. Remember, at any time, if you want to pause the video and finish this on your own, I encourage it. Number 21, we have 60, 500, and 3. So I'm going to start with my biggest number, which is a 5. Then I'm going to move down to my tens, which is a 6, and then to my 3. On number 22, I have a 2 and a 4 from my 400. I'm going to again start with my 4 in my hundreds. I have no tens, tricky there. So my 0 goes in the middle and I'm left with a 2. Remember, if you did 420, that is a much different number than 402. All right, and our last one, we have 200, and we have 9, and we have 90. So I'm going to start with my 2 from 200. I have a 9 from 90, and a 9 from 9. All right, here come these tricky ones. We can do it. Last 3 problems. So I want to cross out what I already have in my expanded form from my standard form. So I have a 9, cross it out, that's my tens down. I have my 700s, that's my hundreds. So I am missing just my lonely 8. All right, I have 523. I have my 2 tens right there. I have my 3 ones right there. And now I'm missing this 5 right there. So it's not just a 5, right? If I wrote a 5, that would only be 28. That's way off. But it's a 5 in the hundreds place, so I got to add my zeros because a 5 in the hundreds place stands for 500. And last problem of our lesson, we have a 2 in hundreds town. Make sure you cross off the right one, 200. A 4 in the ones town. So I'm missing this 2 right here. This 2 is in my tens town. So 2 tens is equal to 20. Excellent job, my friends. I'm so proud of you. I hope you took the challenge and tried some on your own. If not, there's always tomorrow. Great job, friends. We'll see you later.